Countdown to the 10 most disappointing NBA players of all time. Number 10, Christian Laettner. Christian Donald Laettner led Duke University to 2 national college titles and still leads the NCAA in most points scored in a tournament. His 4-year college career is considered one of the best, if not the best, in NCAA history. He was chosen over Shaquille O'Neal to be on the 1992 U.S. Olympic Dream Team, which was controversial at the time. Dubbed to be the next Larry Bird, Laettner went on to play in an impressive 13 years in the NBA, but only averaged 12 points per game with 6 different teams, made the All-Star team only once, 0 NBA titles, and warmed the bench quite frequently. Number 9, Kwame Brown. Kwame James Brown, considered one of the greatest players in Georgia high school basketball history, Brown elected to skip college for the pros. He was mentored playing alongside the greatest NBA player of all time, Michael Jordan, with the Washington Wizards for 2 years. Playing for 7 different NBA teams, things never really improved for the mediocre big man. Brown's former teammate Kobe Bryant has called Brown clumsy and lazy. Number 8, Vince Carter. Vincent Lamar Carter is a former North Carolina Tar Heel who helped his team win 2 ACC men's basketball tournaments and was in 2 Final Four appearances. He started out with a bang in the NBA with the Toronto Raptors after being drafted. His numbers started to dwindle, and he admitted in an interview with TNT that he didn't always play as hard as he could. He would later be plagued by injury and is not considered defensively strong, despite scoring in the double digits frequently. Number 7, Danny Manning. Daniel Ricardo Manning was considered the greatest player in the University of Kansas history, leading his team to a national championship in 1988. He won the John R. Wooden Award and the NABC Player of the Year Award. Manning was drafted number 1 in the 1988 draft by the Los Angeles Clippers. To Manning's defense, the Clippers was owned by Donald Sterling, who refused to spend any significant amount of money to build a good team around Manning. He also was injured with a bad knee and would unfortunately never fully recover. He played for 7 different teams over his 15-year career. Number 6, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Keom Anthony helped lead the Syracuse University to the first NCAA title, averaging 22 points and 10 rebounds per game. He then elected to go pro, where he was selected number 3 by the Denver Nuggets. He made the Nuggets into a winning team just in his first year, making it one of the most successful rookie seasons of all time. That fire almost completely disappeared after being traded to the New York Knicks. His once strong, dominant finishes transmuted into meek layups almost overnight. Melo can still put up strong numbers, and we'll just have to wait to see if he can regain what he had in his glory days. Number 5, Yao Ming. Yao Ming stands at 7'6" and is one of China's best-known athletes and one of the only few Chinese players to play in the NBA. With towering height and a graceful touch, Ming contributed greatly to the Houston Rockets his first 3 years in the league, but he quickly succumbed to injury and played partial seasons his last few years. Number 4, Larry Johnson. Larry Demetric Johnson led his college team UNLV to their first and only national championship. He was selected first by the NBA Charlotte Hornets in 1991. Pining to be the next superstar, Johnson acquired multiple endorsement deals. But after a fairly decent run with the Hornets, Johnson saw less playing time with the New York Knicks. And after a fizzling 10 years in the league, a large majority of sports fans have forgotten who he is. Number 3, Greg Oden. Greg Wayne Oden played 1 year of college basketball with Ohio State, where he was voted as the conference Defensive Player of the Year. The 7-footer was selected number 1 in the 2007 draft by the Portland Trail Blazers. Ailing from common big man problems, Oden was waived by the Trail Blazers and has attempted a comeback with the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies. He is currently playing professionally in China. Number 2, Grant Hill. Grant Henry Hill helped lead Duke University to 2 national titles, along with the center Christian Laettner. Grant led the Blue Devils once again to a championship in 1994, losing to the Arkansas Razorbacks. He was held by the NBA and Commissioner David Stern to take over the marketing reins by the retiring Michael Jordan, almost to a point of ad nauseum. Grant never matched Jordan's dominance and was plagued by injury like so many athletes have. While he kept Detroit a contender in the beginning, he failed miserably to shine like so many had hoped he would later in his career with the Orlando Magic and Phoenix Suns. And finally, number 1, Ralph Sampson. Ralph Lee Sampson, hailing from Harrisonburg, Virginia, dominated at the center position for the UVA Cavaliers, leading his team to an NIT title and NCAA Final Four appearance. Slated to be the next Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Sampson was selected number 1 in the 1983 draft by the Houston Rockets, and was later teamed up with Hakeem Olajuwon as the Twin Towers in Sampson's second season. Sampson would succumb to knee injury and back injury and was traded to the Golden State Warriors, where he would never play to a full season again, averaging only 6 points. He would never live up to his incredible potential in the glory days of his college days.